You guys, welcome. My name's Rener Gracie. Honored to be here. I've been teaching Thai for several months now. It was amazing. He said, Maya called up and said, hey, he wants to learn Jiu-Jitsu. I said, okay. Where does he live? What do you want to do? Go to the house in Beverly Hills. Got there, private Jiu-Jitsu studio. You've seen the videos. And it was amazing because I've had, tens of thousands of students over my entire life. My family's, credited with kind of creating Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. And of all the students I've ever taught in my entire life, Tai was the fastest. Literally in the first and second class, he was taking principles that I was explaining purely in a jiu-jitsu context, and he was telling me how they apply in business and quoting books and applying them all over the place, and it really just opened up my mind, and more than it already had been open to the connection between business and jiu-jitsu. So here today to talk about entrepreneurial jiu-jitsu, and by the time we're done, besides learning some techniques of jiu-jitsu that we're gonna show that apply to business, you're all gonna earn your first stripes in EJJ, all right? You down with that, yes? Yeah. Let's do it. All right, so what's crazy is that, you know how they always say the people who actually know how to fight don't get into fights, right? The people who are picking fights in the bar are the drunk people who don't know what they're doing, acting ridiculous, no discipline, no integrity, no honor. Those are the people who are usually picking fights, and it's true. For every time that I have even come close to using my jiu-jitsu knowledge to neutralize or to defend myself in a real physical altercation, I've used my jiu-jitsu knowledge 1,000 times on the business front. That's the ratio. That's how ridiculous it is, and that's how serious the connection is between jiu-jitsu and business. And today, my goal is to show you guys some critical principles and how they apply so directly to the business front. And what's interesting is that normally when we gather business ideas or entrepreneurial concepts and principles, how does that happen? Someone comes up, they tell about their stories, like the panel we just saw, their success stories, and you listen. Well, we want to take it one step further today. I want you guys to actually see principles happen. And then we're going to make the connection between the principles and the business world. Now, there are at least 17 known kind of principles of combat that have immediate and direct applications to business. Today, we're going to talk about my three favorite, all right? Position before submission, failing forward, and comfort in chaos are the three ideas we have to understand. Position before submission. The right move at the wrong time is the wrong move. Now, this is true, obviously, in business. Talk about in a fight, though. It couldn't be more true than in a fight between two people. I would like to demonstrate. It's time, bro. Wake up. Come on. Lay down right here. Sam Fernandez, everybody. Everyone say, what's up, Sam? You guys, the techniques are going to be on the ground right now, but I asked my guys in the back, look at the thing, you guys should be okay right here, so you can even push in a little bit tighter as I come down right here, and you guys can see what's going on. All right, position before submission, okay? Right move at the wrong time is the wrong move. I'm going to show you guys a move right now called the Americana Arm Lock, one of the most basic but powerful techniques in jiu-jitsu. This is called the mount position. I'm mounted on Sam. It's the best place for me, worst place for him. From here, submissions are abundant. The most common from here, look, pin his arm down with 2-on-1, because normally in a fight, you're throwing strikes, his hands go up, I take his arm, I pin it down. I lock my elbow into his neck. I take this hand and I go under his arm, look, and I lock my own wrist. Now, because my legs are trapping Sam's body, from here I lower my head, and just by sliding his hand south and lifting his elbow, I break his shoulder right there. The fight's over. Okay, it's the Americana Arm Lock. You entangle their arm and you twist it down. Great technique if you have the mount position. Now check this out. I'm going to get inside of Sam's guard, okay? This is a very normal, common position in a fight. If you watch UFC, you see it all the time. The guard position, okay? Totally different position, but check it out. I'm going to apply the same technique, the Americana Arm Lock, from this position now. Check it out. So, arm comes across the center, and I go, and look what happens. What happened right there? Check it out. Here's what happened. When I'm mounted on Sam, I have the dominant position because my legs are controlling his body, so the submission is applicable and correctly applied. If I'm in Sam's guard, look at the difference. His legs are controlling my hips, and as soon as my arm crosses the center line to pin Sam's arm to the ground, because his legs have the dominant position, as soon as my arm crosses the center line, Sam can create an angle, get up to his knees, take my back, and then from here, apply a submission of his own called the rear naked choke. Okay? So what this boils down to is that it was the exact same Americana Arm Lock. The only thing different was the position. And the application for you guys is pretty simple. I think that all of you guys are here because each of you has an Americana Arm Lock of your own. You have an idea, you have a product, you have a service, something that you believe in wholeheartedly, and you may be very successful with your product, service, or idea, or you may have trouble getting it off the ground. And what I'm here to help you guys ponder is if you are having trouble, if you're not reaching the success levels that you want, there may be nothing wrong with the Americana. What's wrong is the position. So the same way, if I'm inside Sam's guard and all I need to do is get past his legs, achieve the mount, to then perfectly apply the submission and win the fight, the question for you guys is how can you change your position so that your product, service, or idea will apply perfectly under the new circumstances that arrive when the position changes? What do I mean by that? Well, first of all, let's say you have a product that you're trying to sell, and you're selling it to a certain audience when really you should be selling it to a completely different audience. So just by changing your target demographic, the product may have 10 times the success. Another simple change that many people will know, and you've talked about this, pricing is everything. What if a change in price, therefore repositioning you in the industry, makes your product way more desirable and achievable to the people who actually need it than it currently stands, right? Or talk about the benefits of the product. You may be focusing on the wrong benefits of your product. What if you change the unique selling proposition, the USP, focus on an entirely new angle of the same product? You're just changing the position and your product applies entirely differently. Instead of questioning whether you have the right product or service, like Tai always talks about, if you're passionate about what you do and you don't need vacation time and you're down to do what you do every single day, day after day after day, you have the right product or service, but you're in the guard. You gotta pass the guard, get to the mount, and believe in your Americana. So change your position and watch the abundance of opportunities that come from that new position. Does that make sense? Say yes. Perfect. Principle number 2, failing forward. We're all gonna have setbacks, you guys. We're all gonna have setbacks. Sometimes it's a personal setback. Sometimes it's a local or a communal setback or an industry setback. Other times it's a global or national setback where it's an economic crisis for everyone. What's the difference between the successful people, the 1%, 2%, 3%, and the rest? When the setback happens, when the economic collapse happens, when the real estate crash goes down, whatever it is, when something goes down or something more local or specific to you, the 3%, what are they doing? They're looking for the opportunity in the new circumstances. Whereas the 97%, what are they doing? Mourning the loss of the pre-existing circumstances. Let's talk about it. Check this out. I'm gonna get on the bottom here. Watch this. This is called the guard, as we already talked about. From the guard, one amazing technique is the arm bar. A lot of times the bad guy here is trying to strangle you from the guard, like trying to hurt you. They could punch or they can strangle. Strangle is a very common behavior. As long as we're lined up like this, I have no opportunity. But if I change my angle, watch what happens. 90 degrees, legs over, and now break his elbow right here. Because my hips are behind his elbow, I'm hyperextending Sam's joint right now, and if he doesn't tap, it snaps. Okay? So typically they tap, or in a street fight, they scream very loudly, which is equivalent to a tap, and then you negotiate from there. Now, here's what's crazy. As soon as you get in Jiu-Jitsu and you've done it for any period of time, Sam's, our training partners who are knowledgeable, as soon as we spin and we catch this right here, they know what's about to happen. So before you lock it in, they rip their arm out. Now, while amateur entrepreneurs continue to mourn over the lost arm bar right here, what I want you guys to do is take advantage of the triangle choke. Boom. Okay, so one more time. Check out what just happened. Yeah, this is a serious job right here. Look, angle, legs, bite, 90 degrees. Calm down, Rener. Okay. Angles, leg, bite right here. Okay, now once I'm in this biting position, I can break his arm. But sometimes he's a strong guy, he rips his arm straight out, freeze. Now that's called a lost arm bar. And the amount of time you mourn over that determines the amount of time you don't have to invest in the new opportunity that just showed up. Check it out. All I gotta do is take this leg to this. And this is called triangle choke setup position. I am now set up for a very important, effective, and amazing technique. Watch this. Arm goes across the body, drop him down, connect to the head, foot on the hip, wiggle back, bite the neck, hold the shin, lock the leg. Now my thighs are plugging his shoulder and his arteries here from the side, bilateral carotid artery compression, and just by squeezing my legs and lifting my hips as I pull, 6 seconds and Sam is unconscious. So you guys, Tai always talks about this. He explains it so well. He talks about the idea that some of the greatest rags to riches stories, right, of financial huge success come out of some of the most depressed of circumstances or financial times. The question is, when this happens, when these depressed circumstances take place, are you one of the ones who is mourning the loss of the armbar, or are you celebrating the triangle's arrival? Personally, I had a very interesting situation along these lines. When I was 19 years old, I had an injury to my lower back where I was sidelined, could not do jiu-jitsu for 10 months. Now, for someone who lives off of jiu-jitsu, that's the most unfortunate circumstance. It could carry real estate, financial, economic depression, nothing mattered. If Rener Gracie cannot teach jiu-jitsu, I'm done. But what's crazy is that rather than mourning the lost mat time, I started thinking right away. I said, man, I have 10 months off. I better come up with some great ideas because A, I need to know what to do with my time, and B, if this ever happens again or I get closer and older to retirement and I can't teach every day, what am I gonna do? So I started thinking, what's the win? Where's the triangle in this situation? And in those 10 months, the idea was born for a website called gracieuniversity.com, an interactive online learning center that captures via video streaming format all of the jiu-jitsu curriculum from white to black belt, and allows students to learn from anywhere in the world jiu-jitsu at home. They move the couch out of the way, they load up the internet, and they practice with a friend or family member on the floor from their house. We launched it, my brother and I. Today, I checked this morning so I could be accurate. By the time I left my house, 119,775 members in 196 countries. Thank you. And it was born because of the back. So, this is what I'm talking about. Jiu-jitsu has served me in ways way beyond fighting. Fighting is the least of it. And the question for you guys is, if you're at a downturn right now, if you're in a negative, if you're in a slump, if you're in an armbar loss situation, are you mourning too much over the lost armbar, or are you looking for that triangle? And I'll tell you what, these circumstances that Tai so frequently references of these worst case scenarios and people who, turn bad into good, those are not the armbar mourners. Those are the people who A, have the conviction that the triangle will appear, and B, have the preparation to take action when it does. So you don't have time to waste, you guys. You have to be ready and you have to believe, because I'll tell you what, no triangle ever appeared for me that I did not believe was possible. The belief in the triangle precedes the opportunity and the application. Principle number 3, comfort in chaos. I need a volunteer. Someone who's never done jiu-jitsu, never done, okay? Like my friend Jake Ellenberger, UFC fighter over there. What's up, Jake? Round of applause for Jake right there, UFC fighter. Those of you guys didn't know. UFC fighter over here, good friend and student of the family, amazing training partner. Don't raise your hand, Jake. I need a non-trained opponent, okay? Someone who's always dreamt of doing martial arts or jiu-jitsu, but has never been able to, but really, this is where it's at, okay? Hold on, let me look right here. I need somebody who's, around 190, 200 pounds. My friend with the beard back there. What's your name, sir? Greg? Round of applause for Greg, you guys. He's coming up. Let's do it.
Greg,
come on up.
There was way too many hands went up fast because
cool.
it's not that fun to spar with Rener.
What's up, brother? Cool. So I'm gonna do this. You're cool. Just whatever. No, you're cool. No, keep your shirt on. So here's what you're gonna do. Greg, I'm gonna have you lay down with your feet that way and your head this way, basically bottom of the mountain position. You guys check this out. So, as we talked about, comfort in chaos. You know what was really cool is very recently, Tai posted one of those dope Instagram quotes that he does that said something along the lines of, if I could have any superpower, it would be that to be comfortable and calm under stressful circumstances. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. But then I realized I just said that a week ago in class to him. And then,
Steal sometimes.
yeah, you stole. So anyways, here we are today. I'm stealing it back, you guys. Nothing more valuable than comfort in chaos, or what I call comfort in worst case scenarios. Let's demonstrate. The mount is the worst case scenario in a fight. Here's why. If Greg's on the bottom and he can't reach my face, make a fist roll, but I can reach yours. Do you guys see why? Now, we're friends and we're all here having a good time, so we're not gonna punch each other, but I wanna illustrate why this is so bad. You can't hit, but he can hit you. Now, some of you are in the crowd, especially the women, are saying, I'll just hit him in the groin. Yes, you can, okay? You can try, but one for here and one for here, yeah, I don't recommend it, right? One for one is not a good trade with the gravity, and if you hit me, let's just say I ride with it. If I hit you, what happens? Pavement behind your head, no mats on the streets, you guys. So you see the problem with striking your way out of here. The question then becomes, Greg, how would you push this person off? I'm not gonna hit you, you're not gonna hit me, but you would just like push me to the side, right? Go ahead, push me off. For real, go ahead, just push me off. Come on, Greg. Come on, you guys, please. Greg, come on, don't go, Greg. Stay here, Greg. Come on, Greg. Stay here, Greg. Come on, man, please, Greg. Come on, Greg, please, man. Please, Greg. Come on, man. Please, Greg. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, Greg. Go, Greg. Go, Greg. Go, Greg. Go, Greg. Go, Greg. Come on, Greg. Don't mess up my mic, Greg. Okay, good. You got a cramp.
Uh-oh. Do you have a leg cramp?
So,
a minor leg cramp. I have one funny story. A guy worked for me. I won't say his name, programmer.
Yeah.
He said, dude, I'm a second-degree black belt. He came up and
stay right
trained.
here, stay low.
He laid down there and he pulled a muscle before anyone touched him. I was like, you're a great martial artist. You're hurt before the fight starts.
Now, you guys, obviously, I'm using Greg here to illustrate what? Chaos. I wanted you to see chaos and what discomfort in chaos looks like. Okay, so now, mount on me here. Put both knees on the ground, champ. Yes. Grab on, without hitting my mic, grab on here tight. Don't let me sit up. Get a good grip. Keep me down, solid grip. Don't let me get out no matter what. I wasn't ready, he said. Okay, so let me show what I did right here, you guys. Sam, please. Greg, stay off to the side just a little. I'm gonna have you do it in just a sec. So watch what happened, you guys. When Greg was on the bottom, his goal was to bench press me off, as you all saw. And he's a strong guy. I chose a strong guy on purpose so you can see what strength can do down there. Bench press, put your hand out. Every time he did, look what I did. Just post it out, post it out, post it. And then he gets tired, muscle cramp, and doesn't want to do it anymore. Now imagine if we weren't friends and we arrived at that point of exhaustion. That's when you get beat up. That's when things get real bad. Yes, you don't want that. Now, when Greg was on top of me and held me down, I didn't bench press him at all. All I did was I knew that Greg needed to post his hand for base before he knew he would post his hand for base. So watch. 1, 2, and look at the foot down here. 3. He's isolated. Now, if I just push the hips out, he can't base out. And that's why they fall. No bench press, no muscle. He's stronger than me, no big deal, just technique. So Greg, lay down right here, please. We'll go real slow on this one. So check this out. Slide down a little, champ. Thank you. So when the person is mounted, this hand's gonna grab my wrist. Yes, now what's interesting is most people grab with the C-clamp, like that, hold tight, squeeze it. Yes, the C-clamp like this, hold tighter, slips right out because it leaves an opening in your grip that the hand travels out laterally. So instead, watch this. Relax, thumb comes over. Hold that now, relax, just enough. Look, it doesn't slip out because you have a hook. Now relax, place that in your chest. This hand, grab the back of my elbow, just like, relax, champ, relax. That way, yes. So I don't pull my arm out. Now you got my arm right here. Now with my foot trapped, you already got the foot. This foot in the middle, perfect. Now very slowly, just don't let go, and you don't have to do it fast. Slow bridge up, slow, hips up. Look, I can't post out. Does that make sense? And then you're gone. Now you get up and go home. Thank you, bro. Round of applause for the champ here. Thank you, bro. What do we learn from this? What we learn is that when I mounted on Greg, he concluded, and you guys did as well. After a few, maybe 10, 15 seconds, he's not getting out because he gave it a good go. So it became clear that what we had on our hands was what we call an impossible situation for Greg at that time in his life. It could have been categorized for Greg to get out right now on stage was impossible because he went for real. But what we just realized is that not only is it possible for Greg to get out, but it's actually ridiculously easy when you have the technique, the knowledge. So what this brings us to is the realization that in your own lives, entrepreneurially or otherwise, every single threat circumstance, every single problem, every single challenge, every single setback that you've experienced, someone out there has already experienced. In a fighting sense, I can guide you. In a business sense, someone else can guide you. You talk about mentors, you talk about masterminds, you talk about read a book a day. The techniques of your problems are out there. But you won't pursue them unless you're sure that they exist. And I think that seeing an impossible situation on stage be overcome with such a simple idea helps you guys realize that, wow, if for the most threatening of physical engagements, a physical fight, what's worse than that? Forget a boardroom. Imagine someone strangling you on the street trying to take your life and then abduct your family. There is no problem you can kind of anticipate on a business front that's worse than what you just saw. So if this impossibility was overcome so easily, what does it tell us? All of your challenges, problems, and impossibilities are just techniques waiting to be discovered. Do you guys agree, yes or no? Yes. That's it. But only if you believe the technique is out there are you going to pursue it. And I'm pretty confident that by them being here this weekend, they believe the techniques are out there. Now, I told you that listening to advice is one way of absorbing lessons, entrepreneurial ideas. Seeing it in action is the next step. Because it's one thing to talk about techniques for worst case scenarios, another for you just saw it with your very own eyes. But you guys, it goes one step deeper. Feeling it for yourself. Doing it, touching it. And this next step is so important that I want to make you guys an offer you can't refuse. For those who are based in Los Angeles, Southern California, who have ever thought about learning self-defense, now's your chance. Anyone who comes in from now to the Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Academy, headquartered in Torrance, California, anyone who comes in from now until we close, December 23rd, for a beginner class, brand new, only brand new students, okay? Anyone who comes in for that, from now till then, will get not only the rest of December for free, all of January to train, okay? Typically, now, not only that, but I want you guys, when you come, I want you to experience Jiu-Jitsu. Because I'll tell you right now that 99.99% of the students who ever walk in our doors have never been into a street fight. And what's crazier is they don't anticipate ever getting into a street fight. So why are they coming? You just saw. This has nothing to do with fighting. This has to do with building the conviction that impossibilities are just techniques waiting to be discovered. And think about when you come to class every day and you're learning techniques and you're overcoming every single day, new threat, new opportunity, new threat, new technique. And you're building that confidence to overcome muscle. And then you go home and there's a situation, something happens, the sink is leaking under. Rather than just giving up and tapping out, you're like, hold on, honey, I got this. You get in there and you jiu-jitsu the sink, you guys. My point is you look at problems differently when every single day impossibilities are just being dismantled right before your eyes. Every problem is easier when you know jiu-jitsu. You guys understand? So that's why I want you to experience this, not because I anticipate you getting into a fight, and I know you have no aspirations, except for Jake. Everyone else is a normal human being in here, okay? You guys don't want to fight anybody. It's not a profession for you guys. Come in December, all of January free. We'll even include a nice Gracie uniform for you to use for the duration of your trial period or whatever. But just come in and feel it out, you guys. Drop Ty's name, drop my name, and you're going to be all set. Question. What if we're not in Los Angeles? You guys, it goes deeper. Write this down. GracieUniversity.com. This website, 119,775. By the end of today, it'll pass 120,000 with your guys' help. Here's why. Anyone who registers on Gracie University today, which is, like I said, free, you can do it right now during lunch, takes 30 seconds on your phone. Anyone who registers today, tomorrow morning, I told my programmer, I want anyone who signs up today to have the first 10 lessons of our 36-lesson white to blue belt beginner program unlocked in their libraries for free. So when you wake up tomorrow, it'll be in your libraries. Okay, gracieuniversity.com. Yes. If you signed up last week, send an email to support, right? The support team, just click on contact us and let them know, yo, I signed up last week, but I'm on my 10 lessons. Hannah promised, okay? And we'll take care of you. So there you have it, you guys. Position before submission. If you have the right technique but the wrong position, either wait it out or change your position and watch the new opportunities that come your way. Failing forward, while the rest of the world is mourning lost arm bars, let's celebrate the triangles. And comfort in chaos. No matter what your challenge is, someone has experienced it before, and you have to believe that impossibilities are just techniques waiting to be discovered. We talked about 3 of my favorite combat principles and their business application. There are 14 others, and you know where you got to go to get them. Much respect. Thanks for being here, you guys. Honor. My pleasure. Thank you.